Now, what I did speak about in the trailer is how important design is. Without a clear design in your head as to what you're actually creating, you are not going to be able to achieve the game that you've always wanted to make. You need the design in your head, and once you sort of get that design out of your head onto the paper as well, it makes it a bit easier to follow, and you have clear rules set out and stuff like that. So that's going to be the point of this video. I'm going to design, I'm going to get straight down into it. So let's swap over to Notepad. Okay, now what you'll see here is this is what we're going to use to design our game. Basically, we're literally trying to type straight out everything that comes out of my head onto this computer screen, and we're just going to design from there, really. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just put Operation Bank at the top. See, as you've seen, that's going to be that's the name of this series. The reason it's called that is because we're going to make a heist game. Operation Bank to begin with, because the main idea I have is making bank robberies. I want it to be Pokemon style graphics. If you don't know what I mean by this, I'll have a picture up on the screen, but I'm sure most of you will know what I mean and how it's roughly going to look. And then the way the game is going to play, basically you start off by planning it. You plan the robbery, so you can choose what bank, what people, how you'll do it, and how you'll escape, essentially. So it's going to be a that's going to be the basis of it. So you're going to have to build and design this game that literally starts from start to finish as a bank robbery, and you have to start to finish it and control this team of people that all do as you say, essentially, which would be quite awesome. So the ideas I've had is that I'm deciding, like, if for the design sort of stage, to have like a sort of scroll thing, if that makes sense, like sort of like a design paperwork, like a blueprint. And so the idea is that you'll have to scout the city. So I'll have a city sort of aspect with certain banks on it. Maybe have heistable places coloured different. And missed the U out. Maybe have them different colours so that you can see what they are. Maybe different colours for difficulties. Buildings, so like maybe we'll have like jewelry stores, which will be easier than banks but more difficult than like local stores, like newsagents and stuff. So rather than more of a heist game, it'd become more of a robbery game, sort of, so you could like hold up the newsagents and stuff like that, or maybe the little stores like the electronic stores and stuff. And electronic, yeah, maybe the electronic stores. Maybe you can hold up the electronic stores, whatever they are. The is that? I don't look like that. That'll do. Then what we'll also have is like your police knowledge. So how much the police know you, and maybe what we'll have as well is that you can take hostages. So if you hold up a bank and the police turn up, you can take hostages and then talk to the police, and the police will know how likely you are to harm them. So basically you could literally build a reputation as violent, reasonable-ish, like as for a bank robbery, you know, and stuff like that. And then maybe what we'll have as well is a reputation with the press and the public. So what we could do is like have corruption in the banks. So maybe like the government bodies own banks, and if they are not good ones, basically. So like if they mess the people around and you rob them, then the public start to like you, sort of thing. So you become a good bank robber, almost like a Robin Hood sort of style thing. And then with the press, it could be like sort of the same sort of thing. So you could use the press to sort of reach out to the public. So if maybe you could have like a pirate station and stuff, like, so that you could basically take over the press. This is obviously a lot further on than here, but so you could take over the press and sway public opinions, and then this would cause riots, etc., which you could use as distractions. But obviously, as I say, that will be a lot further on. Like, the start of it will literally be you plan a heist, you carry out the heist. If it works, brilliant. If not, you're screwed, essentially. I don't know yet how I'm going to do. Now, the point of this series is I want you to be involved with it. So I want you to suggest things and I can add them into the game. This is one of the episodes are going to sort of be done in sections so that you can suggest things and I'll do them in the game. So let's make some subtitles. So we're going to have design the heist, plan it, and then do it. So basically what this sort of headings are is how are you going to design it. So once you've sort of come up in your own head how you want to do the heist, how are you then going to get that into the game? What I'm thinking for that is basically along the lines of having a blueprint, as I said, and maybe like a city map, city map, and you choose what building, so you can scout around the thing a bit, and then like bird's eye view. So you can scout around the thing a bit, and then you'll have a bird's eye view of the map in like a mini map or something. And then you have to sort of go back to the warehouse and you can circle around what one you want, or you just click and it will circle it, and what one you want. And this will then select what building you want, and that will then, maybe that could determine maybe then what you have to do is hire a scout, and he'll return a report showing how many people you need, entrances, exits, security, and then maybe one more. So maybe availability of goods. So basically he'll return a report, and the report will have a blueprint. So it'll have a blueprint of the store layout, basically, at the top, and then all the other bits. So how many people he suggests, maybe what skills people need. Okay, and then you have to plan it. So now when you plan it, obviously you've got the blueprint, you've got how many people he says you need, how many entrance exits there are, the security and the availability of the goods. So now what you have to do is you have to literally plan it. So how are we going to have you plan it? How are you going to plan how you get to the building and go in heist? Are we going to have you have to drive to the building, or are we just sort of going to swap from when you click start heist, for example, you just swap straight into the store and enter in how you selected to enter, and then once you've entered, you sort of carry out the heist and then escape, and then exit and escape. Are we going to have you escape? Maybe, I don't know. This is obviously all things that I haven't thought about that sort of come later on in the game. So for your planning, the screen will basically the layout of the store or building, maybe. So you've literally got the layout of the building, and then different when I can type models of people, move them about, and click finish. So that could be good. So you know how in like normally you see it in like these detective shows and stuff, when they're building up a map and stuff of things that have happened or a timeline, they'll have like a pin with red string between it and what happened first and then where and then where. So what my idea here is that you'll have different people. So say there's a team of 4 people, you being one of them, obviously. You will sort of start near the door, a model of you near the door, or all lined up by the door, and then you can say right click on you and place you somewhere else, and then sort of trace a path that you'll take, and maybe select actions. Maybe you can like hover over it or hold your click and select an action that you'll do at that point. So maybe, for example, you'll have one of your team members, maybe the gun member, sort of go in and you'll move him over to the security guard, and then an option will become available that says like shoot, so you can shoot and kill the security guard, or maybe just shoot and hurt him depending on what you want to do. And then you have like a runner maybe that will go round the store, and you can sort of move him over to a cabinet and say loot, and then go to another cabinet, loot, another cabinet, loot. And as you do this, all these strings will sort of trace the path the person can take. Maybe different colour strings. Crime show timeline board, red strings. Maybe different coloured strings for different people. Maybe like the models could just be a solid colour. Maybe even like a circle or something. And then the string, obviously, string shows colour. With that, you will need a key to show who's who, really. Okay, so I think that'll actually be quite good. And then, yeah, and then we'll decide later on, obviously, if we want to be able to do the heist. So what we'll build first is we'll build it just the heist itself. So actually in the store and exit via the door and press finish. And then it will work or it won't work. And that'll be kind of cool. And doing it, are we going to do it or are we just going to let it play out? Maybe what we'll do is under do it, which is here, the rest of the team will carry out your plan, but you control you, maybe, or we just let you control, or just do it all in the thing and then just see how it runs, and you can sort of watch the heist or you can skip it. But then that makes the point of having the heist pointless. You might as well just have a random generator. And yeah, so I think maybe if we let you run live, it actually lets you sort of run the heist, and then obviously if we then go into you driving to it and you having to escape, we can have like a little game at the end where you've got to actually escape through the city, get rid of the police if they're chasing you, or if you've done it well enough, not get rid of the police and just get back to the warehouse, which is nice and easy. So I think, yeah, we'll have live mode so you control it. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I think that's a pretty standard design, like a pretty standard foundation to set this game on. We know what we're making. We're making a heist game. We know how we're gonna run it, and yeah, maybe what we'll have is, what I think the first thing I'm going to build is this actual heisting ability, and having like a city view, a bird's eye view of the city, and you select the building, it selects that building, and then you have to pay for a scout. So I think the other thing we're going to have is cash account. So more heists means more money. But then that does create a problem of what's going to be the point of the money. Obviously we can have the team, like you buy new team members and stuff like that, but that's not really worth it, really. Let's be honest, like the team members are just going to be, maybe the team members have got different skills and you can train them up on different skills, and you have to spend the money to get them trained on different things. That could be an idea, maybe. Maybe you buy a new warehouse, but then why do you want a new warehouse? The warehouse is good enough. So what will the money be for? And yes, I think that's quite good. I'm quite happy with that, to be honest with you. I think that's a pretty standard design. What I will do as well is I'm going to leave the episode there now, so that's going to be our design finished with. So what I'm going to do while the camera's off is maybe design the UI, maybe some graphics and stuff. I will record it, obviously, and then just time-lapse it and maybe put a new commentary over the top. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please comment below if you did like it. If you think there's anything else you'd like in the game. Although I'm going to post some questions for you. The questions I'm going to pose is the team. Do you think it should be one team? So you have maybe a team of 4 people and you gradually train them up and you use them all on the same height, all on different heists, but you use the same people? Or do you think we could have like case files, like, you know, the little paper files you can get in these crime films and TV programs, and like it's all got their skills set out and a picture of them and their names sort of thing. So yeah, the team, should it be a constant team or a changing team? And then another question I'm going to put out is the last question we come across on the thing. What could we use the money? What could we use the money for? The money that we accumulate over the heists. What will it be used for eventually in the game? But yeah, that's going to be the video for now. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Comment the answers to the questions if you have any. Feel free to contact me on Twitter as well. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to make sure you catch the next video, and I'll see you next time.